My mother raised her champagne glass and smiled at the whole table. At least someone in this family made something of themselves. She was looking right at me. My brother smirked. Don't worry, Maya, not everyone's cut out for success. You'll figure something out. Eventually. I smiled back, because what they didn't know could fill the whole restaurant. My name's Maya. I'm 23 years old. And if you'd asked my family that night, they would have told you I was the one who never made it. I didn't have the grades in high school, barely got into community college, dropped out after one semester because I couldn't sit through another lecture that felt like it was crushing my soul. My brother? He had the degree, the corporate job, the new house in the suburbs. He was 28, and everything my parents wanted. I was the disappointment. I worked out of a one-bedroom apartment, freelancing as a graphic designer and content creator. No fancy office, no business cards with a company logo on them, just me, my laptop, and a dream that everyone told me wasn't real. Creative work isn't a real career, Maya. I'd heard that line so many times I could recite it in my sleep. But here's the thing. I wasn't climbing any corporate ladder. I wasn't buying a 4-bedroom house, but I was building something they couldn't see, something they refused to see. Has your family ever treated you like this? Share your story below, because I need you to know you're not alone. That dinner, the one where my mother toasted my brother like he'd cured a disease, that wasn't the first time they'd humiliated me. But it was going to be the last. Let me take you back to how it all started. We were at this upscale Italian place downtown. White tablecloths, candlelight. The kind of restaurant where you feel underdressed even when you're not. My mother stood up, glass in hand, and everyone went quiet. I just want to say how proud we are of our son, she began. He just made vice president at his company, 28 years old and already crushing it. Everyone clapped. My aunts, my uncles, my cousins. Even the waiter paused to smile. Then she turned to me. We worried about you for so long, Maya. I just hope one day you'll find stable work. My stomach dropped. My brother leaned forward, his voice dripping with fake concern. Maya, I keep telling you, if you want, I can get you an entry-level position at my company. Receptionist, maybe? It's honest work. My cousin Emma glanced at her husband and whispered something. They both laughed. My Aunt Carol reached over and patted my hand like I was a sick puppy. You're still so young, honey. You have time. My uncle chimed in. It's never too late to go back to school, sweetheart. I sat there, silent, smiling, nodding. What I didn't say was that 1 week earlier I'd signed a contract worth $45,000. A full rebrand for a sustainable tech startup. The biggest deal I'd ever landed. But the paperwork was still finalizing, and I wasn't about to announce it at a table full of people who'd spent 3 years telling me I'd fail. Then my mother dropped the next bomb. Oh, and we're throwing an engagement party for your brother next month. She turned to me with this bright, condescending smile. Maya, maybe you can help with decorations? Give you something to do. My brother's fiancé, who I'd met maybe twice, lit up. Oh, that's so sweet. Like a little project for you. I felt my face go hot, but I just nodded. Sure. Sounds good. I left early, told them I had a headache. I sat in my car in the parking lot, hands shaking on the steering wheel. And then my phone buzzed. It was an email. Subject line, contract finalized, payment schedule attached. I opened it, read it twice. Then I sat back and laughed until I cried. A week later, my brother hosted a dinner party at his new house. I didn't know about it. I found out the way everyone finds out about things now, Instagram. I was scrolling through stories and there they were. My cousins, my brother's college friends, a bunch of people in suits holding wine glasses. The caption read, surrounded by success. I stared at my phone. Then I texted my brother. Hey, saw your party on Emma's story. Didn't know you were having people over. 3 dots. Then his reply. Yeah, it was a young professionals network thing. Thought you'd feel out of place. Mostly finance and tech people. Didn't want you to feel awkward. I screenshotted it. Saved it to a folder I'd started keeping. Because something in me had shifted. I wasn't going to argue. I wasn't going to cry. I was just going to document. 2 weeks later, we had my grandmother's 75th birthday party. Big venue. Lots of family friends. Lots of people I didn't know. I was sitting at a table with my mom, my aunts, and a few of her friends from church. And my mother started telling a story. Oh, you should have seen Maya after high school, she said, laughing. We were so worried. She dropped out of community college after 1 semester. We thought, what is she going to do? Everyone at the table looked at me with pity. She went through this whole phase, my mom continued, where she thought she was going to make it as an artist. She said it like it was a joke. My brother was sitting a few seats down. He leaned in, loud enough for the whole table to hear. I tried to help her, offered her a real job, but she turned it down because she wanted to follow her passion. He used air quotes. The table erupted in awkward laughter. One of my mom's friends, someone I didn't even know, patted my shoulder. Well, passions don't pay the bills, sweetie. I sat there, hands under the table, shaking. I didn't say a word. A few days later, my mom called. Hey, hun, so I need a favor. I already knew where this was going. Can you design the invitations for your brother's engagement party and maybe some signage? Oh, and graphics for the social media announcements? And the menus. I hesitated. Mom, I'm swamped with client work right now. You're so good at this stuff, Maya, and it's family. You're not really that busy, right? There it was. I don't know, Her tone shifted, cold, sharp. Your brother has done so much for this family. This is the least you can do. Unless you're too selfish. I felt my throat tighten. We've supported you through everything, she continued. I'm just asking for a favor. I closed my eyes. Okay, I'll do it. Thank you, sweetheart. You're such a good sister. She hung up. I sat on my couch and opened a document on my laptop. I started a list. Every insult, every dismissive comment, every hour of free work I'd done, birthday invitations, holiday cards, family reunion flyers, graduation announcements, 52 hours for the engagement party alone. At my hourly rate, that was $7,800. I tracked it all, itemized, professional. My best friend Jenna came over that night. She saw the list. What are you doing? She asked. I looked up at her. I'm done explaining myself. I'm just going to show them. What they didn't know was that 3 weeks before that dinner, everything had changed. The client I'd signed wasn't just any client. It was a fast-growing, sustainable tech startup preparing for a nationwide product launch. They needed a full rebrand, logo, color palette, social media templates, packaging design, website layout, $45,000. More than I'd made the entire year before. I'd been working 12-hour days perfecting every detail, every font choice, every shade of green. And it wasn't just them. I had a portfolio of repeat clients, small businesses, influencers, nonprofits. I had over 8,000 followers on Instagram. I'd been featured in a design blog the month before. I'd been financially independent for over a year, hadn't asked my family for a single dollar. And the startup? They wanted to credit my work in their press release, feature me in their launch event. I'd told no one, not my mom, not my brother, not even my dad. I had emails, contracts, testimonials, published features, all saved in a folder on my laptop labeled receipts. They saw me as the failure who couldn't finish college. They had no idea I'd built something they didn't even have the vision to imagine. I met my old high school art teacher, Ms. Reynolds, for coffee a few days later. She was the only adult who'd ever believed in me. "You look tired," she said, studying my face. "I'm fine." "Maya." I sighed. Told her everything. The dinner, the party I wasn't invited to, the free work, the constant humiliation. She set down her cup. "You don't owe them an explanation, but you owe yourself the chance to stop shrinking." That stuck with me. Jenna said something similar when I told her. "You've been bending over backward for people who don't even see you. When are you going to let them fall on their faces?" I didn't answer. But I knew. The arrogance didn't stop. At Sunday brunch, my brother officially announced his engagement in front of the whole family. Mid-announcement, he looked over at me. "Maya, you're still in that tiny one-bedroom, right? We just closed on a 4-bedroom house. Crazy how life works out." My cousins congratulated him. My mom beamed. Someone asked me how work was going. Before I could answer, my brother cut in. "She's doing her art thing. We're all very supportive." His tone made it sound like a charity case. Then my mom texted me again. "Can you also design the wedding invitations? It's for your brother Maya." This is what family does. I agreed. Screenshotted the text. Added it to my list. The breaking point came at another family gathering. I was in the hallway when I heard my brother's voice in the next room. "She'll always need our help. Good thing I'm doing well enough to support the family if she ever hits rock bottom." My dad said nothing, just sighed. I stood there shaking. I pulled out my phone and started drafting something. 1 week before the engagement party, my mom sent a group text to the whole extended family. "So grateful for my brother and his amazing success. He's really carrying this family forward into the next generation." No mention of me. Jenna texted me immediately. "Please tell me you're not letting this slide." I replied, "I'm not. Just wait." The engagement party was held at a rented event space, about 40 people, family, close friends, my brother's co-workers, his fiance's family. The decor looked beautiful, because I'd designed every piece of it. I showed up in a simple black dress, carrying my tablet in a leather case. My brother greeted me at the door. "Thanks for pulling this together, sis. Looks good for, amateur work." My mom hugged me, whispered in my ear. "Try to mingle with your brother's friends. Maybe you'll get some job leads." I just smiled. Halfway through the party, my brother stood up with a champagne glass. He thanked his fiancée, thanked my parents, thanked everyone who helped them get here. Then he looked at me. Even my little sister pitched in with some arts and crafts for tonight. She's still finding her way, but we're all rooting for her. Polite applause. A few people glanced at me with pity. My mother stood next. "We love both our children. They just develop at different speeds. We're proud of them both." Her smile was so patronizing, I almost laughed. Instead, I stood up. "Can I say something?" The room went quiet. "I want to thank you all for coming," I said. My voice was steady, calm. "And I want to thank my family for doubting me." Confused silence. "Because it taught me that I didn't need your approval to build something real." My brother laughed nervously. "Maya, come on, this isn't the time." "No, let me finish." I opened my tablet, pulled up a document. "You asked me to design this party for free. You've asked me to design a dozen things over the past year. For free. Because I'm not really busy, right?" I turned the screen toward the room. "My hourly rate is $150. This party alone. Invitations, signage, social media graphics, menus. That's 52 hours of work." I did the math out loud. $7,800. People shifted in their seats. Add in the birthday designs, the holiday cards, the family reunion flyers. Over the last year, I've done $11,000 worth of work for this family. For free. I turned the tablet around, showed a professional invoice, itemized, detailed. My brother's face went red. That's ridiculous. We're family. You're right. We are. So why have you spent the last 3 years telling me I'd never make it? I swiped to the next screen. Assigned contract. Client name. Payment schedule. $45,000. This is a contract I signed last month. Full rebrand for a startup launching nationwide. They found me because of my portfolio and my reputation. Gasps. My brother's face went pale. My mother's voice cracked. Maya, why didn't you tell us? Because every time I tried, you talked over me. You pitied me. You treated my work like a hobby. I swiped again. A screenshot of a design blog feature. My Instagram page. 8,000 followers. Testimonials from clients. I've been financially independent for over a year. I haven't asked you for a single dollar. And I've built a career you didn't even believe existed. My brother stood up, defensive. Okay, that's great, Maya, but freelancing isn't stable. I cut him off. And condescending to your sister at every family event isn't kind. Silence. I set the tablet on the gift table and grabbed my coat. I don't need you to pay this invoice, but I need you to stop treating my work and me like we're worth nothing. I looked at my brother, his fiancée, my mother. Congratulations on your engagement. The designs are my gift. Everything else moving forward gets billed. I walked out. Behind me, I heard whispers. Stunned silence. One of my brother's co-workers muttered, "That was intense." My mother tried to follow me, but I was already gone. The next morning, my phone buzzed. A text from my dad. "I'm proud of you. I should have said that a long time ago." I stared at it for a full minute. Later that day, my grandmother called. Her voice was shaky. "I should have spoken up for you, sweetheart. I always knew you were special." 2 days later, my brother sent a short text. "I was out of line. I'm sorry." It wasn't a deep reconciliation, but it was acknowledgement. My mother stayed silent for almost a week. Then she sent a long message. Half apology, half justification. "I only wanted what was best for you. I didn't realize you were doing so well." I didn't respond right. Away. I needed space. I wasn't cutting them off completely, but I'd set a boundary they couldn't cross again. A few cousins who'd been at the party reached out privately. They said they respected what I did. Ms. Reynolds texted me. "I knew you had it in you." Jenna called me, laughing. "You're a legend." I sat on my couch that night, staring out the window. I felt lighter, not bitter, free. The validation I'd been chasing had to come from myself first. I finally understood that their doubts were never about my potential. They were about their own fear of what happens when someone chooses a different path. If you've ever had to prove yourself to people who should have believed in you from the start, hit that subscribe button. Let me know in the comments. Where are you watching from? And what's the dream someone told you was impossible? I read every single one, and your story matters here. Maybe your comeback story is just getting started, too. And if you need to hear this today, you don't need anyone's permission to bet on yourself. Don't wait for approval that might never come. Build it anyway. Let's keep these stories going. Hit the like button if this one hit home, and I'll see you in the next one.